Alright, so I'm making this video to help you out on the translation. If you watch it or not, it is up to you. You only have a half hour left of in-class time. But you can come in the morning if you want. So note that it is obviously color-coded. That is because the different colors indicate different clauses. If it is a main clause, it will be in blue. In other words, those are clauses that can stand on their own. If it is light blue, as you see here and here, then that means obviously it is a subordinate clause of some sort. If it is green, it is a relative clause. And if it is red, it is not a clause at all, but rather something that replaces a clause. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, look at the cases. Now in the first sentence, please note what I pointed out. 1, afferentes comes from a verb, but is not a verb. Do not translate it as a verb. And seems to be having an arrow to there. When an arrow is drawn, it means that it is modifying. So that is modifying that is modifying that, etc. Also, please note that we have, obviously, our subject, as usual, near to the beginning, and our verb is vocata errant. Pause this now, go into your notes, and look up to see what kind of verb that is and how you translate it. And then finally, obviously, I put in parentheses this phrase, as it has gratia and either a gerund or gerundive. You have to figure out which one translated literally. In the second line, please note that I give to you on the sheet of vocabulary the dictionary entry for poculum poculi. Second declension, that ends with an A. Nevertheless, and obviously, alaturis modifying servis. The rest of these should be self-explanatory except for the following. I tell to you that primum is an adverb. Therefore, do not have your English translation indicating that primum is modifying porcum. It is not. It is telling you when. Your second sentence. Translate debet as ought. There are two definitions, o and ought. Ought is the best one. The first quote is a causal clause. And obviously your second one is a relative clause. Now please note here I have an arrow from pretium to dicitur. When I draw an arrow from a noun to a verb, it is telling you that it is the subject. If the arrow was drawn from the verb to the word, it would be an object most likely. Here again I have parenthesized a gerund and or gerundive phrase. Pseudolus is your subject. If you were then going looking for your verb, you would stop there, but not that long. You would stop there, and you would stop there, because it is a word modifying pseudolus, telling us what kind, and then your verb is laudabitur. Now, it's going to be awkward when you translate potuit and ekepisse. You should go and look up to see what kind of forms those are, and make sure you translate them correctly. Also, people have been asking me things like, I can't find that word on the vocab sheet. Obviously, you will not find kuyasdam in the exact same way you will not find eisdem, but it is from what it comes. Id with dem, edam, eadam, edam, it's on there. The same thing here, qui, qui, quod with a dam, quidam, quidam, quodam with a q, but you were looking for a c. Don't do that. The third one. Here, please be aware of the tense that you are going to have. And also, for whatever reason, I've left it off of the vocab sheet, consumta, which is from consumo, consumere, consumsi, consumtus, meaning to consume. Please note the form of consumta. Also, like I said, mind your tense of both auferunt and auferent. Auferentur is different than auferent. Look at the arrow from servi to that. And then also, I point out direct object. So I think you know what that is, I think you know what that is, and I think you should know what that is, or at least I would hope. Now on the last sentence, the most trouble you will have is with the awkward phrase and the translation of a vertendo. It is obviously a gerund or gerundive. I tell to you it is ablative, and I tell to you to translate it by. And remember, if it is a gerundive, it is modifying something. Does that look like it's modifying anything? Next. Oleum is your subject of effunditur. Make sure you get that correct as well. Cepere, not an infinitive. And then finally, obviously, I have drawn a long arrow from laturis to servis. In the exact same way that I drew it from alaturis to servis up there. Maybe pause the video. Maybe look at the sentences. Maybe when you come in tomorrow, have a better sense as to what they say. Thanks for watching, if you did. Bye.